What up, YouTube? Timu's here. Since this month I'm doing my reviews for past April films, here's my review for the 2015 horror film Unfriended, which is perfect to talk about this movie because the movie does take place during, during a webcam and all, and obviously because of the pandemic, uh, like stuff such as Zoom and even Skype and all has mainly been popular nowadays. Obviously this movie came out before Zoo became popular, so yeah. But anyway, now Unfriended was a horror film that premiered back on April 17th, 2015, and I thought this movie was awesome. The first Unfriended, the second one, Dark Web, that premiered back 2018, that was not so good. But the first Unfriended was much better than I had any intention to make. I remember watching the first show. I thought it looked okay. It looked just like a generic horror film. But then I saw it, and the movie was much better than I expected it to be. If you guys don't really know much about the story, one night these teenagers named Blair, Mitch, Jess, Adam, Ken, and Val take part on an online group chat session, and they are joined by this user named Billy227, and they think that's just a technical glitch. Uh, but the friends carry on their conversation until Blair begins receiving messages from someone claiming to be Laura Barris, who is a classmate who ended up killing herself. And so Blair tries to expose Billy's identity, and her friends are forced to confront their darkest secret here, as well as the darkest lies. This movie was nuts. I mean, it also had I guess say it's a bit like a slasher, just without someone going around killing people. I guess say it's like Saw, but if they were over the webcam instead. This film was of course from Blumhouse, who they really did. Blumhouse had usually always do some of that stuff, and this is probably one of the best work they've done. I know Unfriended is creepy. It was messed up, terrifying at times. The lead actors in this, Blair was of course portrayed by Shelley Henning. You also had other interesting group of characters such as Moses Storm, Renee Olstad, Will Petts, Courtney Elverson, Jacob Wysocki was in this. Anyway, the movie gets pretty bloody at times. Like, probably one of the most gruesome moments is when one of the characters ends up getting their hand cut up in a blender. That was a pretty gory moment. This film definitely it had a pretty messed up ending as well. Because this girl is usually not really being cool with the girl who ended up committing suicide, and so whoever is using that account is pretty much having is pretty much taking revenge out on these people. And so yeah, I mean, this movie gets pretty messed up throughout the whole film. It is really crazy to watch, but it's definitely a really cool horror flick. Probably, I'm not even joking. This movie was probably in my top 10 favorite horror movies of that year, in 2015. It was also directed by this director named Leo Gaber Rabaz. I cannot pronounce his last name correctly. He did a really good job directing this. It's also pretty cool to see that this movie didn't really cost a lot to make because these people were usually was literally shooting the movie from their houses, you know. So yeah, I mean, this is probably something that is going to be more popular nowadays because of the pandemic and how hard it is to film nowadays. But man, I mean, the movie at times did felt like a YouTube tutorial video at times. I mean, you see lots of interesting web browsers. Like you see chat roulette at times. You see them just googling stuff. I mean, it's the whole film. Like I remember watching. I literally saw this movie in theaters when it got released, and it was a really cool experience capturing the highlights buzz of online and all. And I think this is like since then we have had other movies similar to this. Like we of course we had the sequel, Searching. We got the sequel to Searching coming. There's that Shudder movie, The Host. Um, there's that new film coming out in May called Profile, which is actually from the same producer as this movie. So yeah, they're pretty popular with these type of movies that takes place online and all. And yeah, if you guys have never really seen Unfriended, I'm not really sure we can find it nowadays. You can actually find it on. Yeah, you can find it on Netflix. You can find it on Vudu, Fandango Now, Apple TV, Prime Video. Go watch. I think you'll enjoy it. Anyway, let me leave you guys. Have you ever had a chance to check out Unfriended? If so, what star of it? Were you a fan of it? Were you not a fan of it? Were you like which did you prefer? Did you prefer this one or the not so good Dark Web sequel? Drop comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for one occasion. This is Simu sign off.